All right, hello and welcome to the Pennsylvania Association of College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event today. We have some fantastic schools here with us. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any questions you might have. My name is Abby and I'm your facilitator for today. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are turned off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen at any time to type your questions to our presenters. And this is just one of the many different sessions. Please be sure to check out the recordings on the website. This presentation is recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. And with that, I'd like now to turn it over to our first presenter, University of Colorado Boulder.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. Let me get my screen pulled up here. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see that all right. Hello, my name is Natalie Goodman. I am a first-year domestic admissions counselor here at the University of Colorado Boulder. Excited to be with y'all today to share a little bit about our institution. So a little bit overall about Boulder. We were voted the #1 college town in the United States. You can see this is our campus here, beautiful, located at the base of the Rocky Mountains. So if you like to be outdoors, if you like a beautiful scenery, you're kind of in the right place to be here. We are a large public institution, so about 30,000 undergraduate students, although we do have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, as well as 85% of our courses do have 50 or less students in them. So if you are ever in a lecture like you might see on TV shows or movies, you will also always have a recitation with that, which is going to be a discussion section that's about 15 to 20 students that meet outside of lecture time at least once a week. So always opportunities to meet with faculty face-to-face, get to know your students and the other courses together with you. I would say one of our most utilized resources on campus is going to be office hours. And this is where professors just have to wait in their office every single week for students to come and talk to them. So a really great resource for students who are not understanding a course concepts that's being taught or they're interested in research. We are a Tier 1 research institution, meaning that all of our faculty on campus is going to be engaged in research in some capacity. If that's something you're interested in, go ask that professor when they're doing their next upcoming research, and if you can participate in those. It's always a good way to kind of find your niche here on campus. We do have 8 colleges and programs on our campus that go over all of our majors, that house our majors, minors, certificates, all of those different things. And students are able to take a wide variety of courses because we are a large institution and have all of those courses available each semester and each academic year. We also have over 500 student organizations on our campus, so great ways for students to get involved in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom, which is going to be important wherever you decide to attend. So like I said, with those 8 colleges or programs, we have over 120 majors, 50 minors, 40 concurrent degrees. So you're getting your bachelor's and master's together in 5 years instead of 6, saving you some time and money there, as well as over 100 certificates. So most of our students are studying multiple different things, and we understand each student's academic journey is going to be unique. And so we encourage you to really mix and match to make it your own academic pathway here on campus. So these are our 8 colleges and programs on campus itself. For the sake of time, I won't go through all of them. Students do apply to their first choice major. If you have no idea what you want to study, or you have 100 different ideas of what you want to study and need help narrowing that down, we encourage students to apply to the program of exploratory studies, which is often our open or undecided option. Students will not get a degree in this area, but they will be in there from 1 to 3 semesters. After their 3rd semester, they will be transferring into the college or program that houses their major. All right, so overall, about half of your college experience is going to be in the classroom, and then the other half is going to be really getting on campus and finding your community here. So really at CU Boulder, there is something for everyone, whether you want to be creative. We have 10 different maker spaces on campus, so if you're interested, we have the Idea Forge where you can start to build that. We also have the Blow Things Up Lab, which is really popular for students who want to test the durability of a product they're making. We have over 300 days of sunshine, so if you're here to be in the mountains, to be in Colorado, you definitely are in the right place. Once again, lots of different ways if you want to study abroad, having over 400 different educational abroad programs in over 60 countries. We do have an abroad program for every major on campus, so something that students like to utilize a lot is our advisors for that program. And once again, Tier 1 research institution, so if you want to conduct any of those, a great place to be on our campus. And like I said, there's a lot to do on campus as well as Colorado. And so we do have Eldora Mountain, which is 30 minutes away. If students want to go ski or snowboard in the winter, it is 30 minutes. And we do have a free bus that drops you off at the base of the mountain. So that's very popular among a lot of our students. Chautauqua Park's a great place to hike. It's just right up here and you'll get to go on the flat irons up here. El Dorado Canyon, if you're interested in rock climbing, Boulder Reservoir, anything and everything water sports. And then we do have our fantastic rec center here. We have 4 pools. Our outdoor pool is shaped like a buffalo. So we really like our mascot, Ralphie. A lot of different things are buffalo shaped on our campus. So always a lot to do on our campus in Boulder itself. And overall, we want to set you up to be successful, not only as your time on campus, but going on into the future. And so we have lots of different resources to make sure students are going to be successful. We do have free tutoring for all of our students living on campus, which all first-year students are required to do. The Writing Center, so this is going to be if you want to bring a paper in, have it reviewed. Career Services, so you will have an academic advisor here to support you along your pathway getting to your undergraduate degree. And you'll also have a career advisor in your own academic area, making sure you're going to be ready for internship opportunities, shadow experiences, and then later on a full-time job employment opportunity. They will also look at cover letters, resumes, do mock interviews with you, just really making sure that you're going forward into whatever it is with your best foot forward going into those interviews, anything like that. Disability services, we are making sure we're accommodating any accommodation students may need. The Center for Inclusion and Social Change, we want to also make sure our students are taking care of themselves mentally and physically. So health and wellness, we also offer free counseling services on our campus as well, a free rec pass for students. So overall, lots of different ways to be supported on campus as well. Oops. And then overall, we want you to be here. And so going over a little bit of what that application process looks like. So for this coming year, that common application opens August 1. We do have 2 different deadlines. The early action deadline is November 15th. And the regular decision is January 15th. We encourage all students to apply by the early action deadline, just to make sure that you're going to be able, oops, sorry about that, because it is a little bit more competitive for regular decision. This is submission-based material deadlines. So make sure you get everything in on this checklist, your application, 1 answer, 2 short answer questions, transcripts, 1 academic letter of recommendation. And overall, if you want to come visit campus, we have some opportunities to do that. Thank you all for being here today. Follow us on social media if you'd like to know any more questions about CU Boulder.
Well, thank you so much, University of Colorado Boulder. Up next, we have Hofstra University.
Thank you so much. Just going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, awesome. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. My name is Christy Niemeyer. I am one of the assistant deans of admission at Hofstra University, and welcome to our campus. I work with our first year students, not only from Pennsylvania, but also Western New York and Northern California as well. And I am a Hofstra alum. So a little bit about our campus, if you're not too familiar, we are located in New York State, more specifically on Long Island. So we love to say that we have the best of both worlds here at our campus. So you get that typical college life experience as you see in that picture there, and you'll see it all throughout our social media, on our websites, on our videos. We have a ton of space throughout our campus, about 240 acres. So there is a ton of things, especially outdoors, to keep you busy, and pretty much on a typical spring day like it has been in the past few days, you'll find our students outside studying, having different events, activities, things like that. So it is a lot of fun here. And we do also emphasize how close we are to New York City. So we are about a 45-minute train ride away. We do have a campus shuttle that will be very convenient to take you to the train station and bring you back to campus when you return. So that makes it super easy for students to do internships there, as well as going sightseeing, exploring the city. We do offer trips called Explore Next Door, which are for students to sign up. They go to sporting events, food tours, Broadway shows, things like that. They're completely free to students, so you can sign up for as many as you want and go and explore the city with some of your peers. But of course, there's plenty to do to keep you busy on Long Island as well. We have Roosevelt Field Mall, which is about 10 minutes away. It's actually the 8th largest mall in the United States. And between the beach being so close to campus, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. So there's plenty to do nearby. Our campus itself is considered mid-size, so we're about 6,120 undergraduate students. So definitely a good sized population that you will still meet new people throughout all 4 years, but you have a much more tight-knit community, and you will absolutely make your small group of friends while you are here at Hofstra. We do have small class sizes, so you will have an average class size of 21 and a student to faculty ratio of 13:1. So you have a much more personal connection with your professor. They will absolutely know your name and what your major is and how they can help you be successful in their class. All of our professors are also required to have office hours, so they will be there to support you in whatever you might need and lead hands-on and discussion-based learning. We also offer about 165 different programs, so a little bit of everything to choose from. And we do have students represented from 48 of the US states and 78 different countries. So this is a list here of all of our majors. You can also find this, of course, on our website with all of our programs, but many of our students choose to double major or have a minor alongside of their major. There are only 4 programs that we have direct admission into, which is our nursing program, our BSMD 4+4 program, our dual degree PA program, and our law accelerated program. Otherwise, students can pick and choose. We do not admit to particular majors. So if and when you are accepted to Hofstra, you are accepted into all of our regular 165 programs that you can pick and choose from. So our internship opportunities, because we are so close to the city, most of our students like to take advantage of that and work for some really cool organizations, including some on that list there, such as ABC, ESPN, Google, Netflix, things like that. And our students do go on to work for them full-time as well, which is pretty exciting. Most of our students do at least 1 to 2 internships by the time that they graduate. It is completely flexible based off of your school schedule. However many you can accomplish in your 4 years, typically 1 to 2 is the best amount that our students can balance with everything and get a really enriching experience. So a little bit about our involvement on campus. We have over 220 clubs and organizations here. Anything you could think of between academic organizations, community service groups, fraternities and sororities, club and intramural sports. We even have a Quidditch team on campus. We have a cappella groups, dance groups. You are also welcome to create your own club on campus if we do not have something of your particular interest. We also spend a lot of time giving back to the community. This is something really important to our students. So going out into the community, into elementary schools, boys and girls clubs, food pantries, things like that. But we also host large events on campus like St. Baldrick's Day and Relay for Life, just to name a few. We're also a Division I school for athletics. So it's a really big part of our spirit support, going out and supporting our 21 NCAA Division I teams. Of course, if you are looking to keep up with the sport, I highly recommend doing club or intramural if you are not going the D1 level. But of course, just going out and supporting all of your peers is a big part of, again, our spirit support on campus and being able to keep you busy and participating in some exciting things here. We do also guarantee 4 years of on-campus housing. So if you're planning to live on campus, you are always guaranteed a room here. We will never run out of space. We have 35 residence halls for our students. So as long as you submit your housing application every year, you are good to go and we'll always have a room here on our campus. If you ever choose to move off campus, you can absolutely do that and then come back a year after if you do decide to change your mind. Application deadlines, just to keep these in mind, we run 2 early action deadlines. So early action 1, November 15th, early action 2, December 15th. These are the 2 deadlines I highly recommend, as my colleagues would as well in our office here. So if you go early action, you can submit on Common App or Hofstra's personal application, totally up to you, or you can go rolling anytime. Basically after the new year, we review applications on a rolling basis. We are also test optional, so it is totally up to you if you would like to submit your test scores or not, but if you did well, we highly recommend adding them to your application, of course. And some helpful links if you do just want to check those out on your own, coming to visit campus, either virtually or in person. We are open for plenty of tours, and we do have our open house this Sunday on May 1st. And last is just my contact information. I will be in contact with you every step of the way as your counselor, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Hofstra University. Next up is Smith College.
Sorry, I had to make sure my screens were correct here. Bear with me for a second. Hello, everyone. My name is Tara Calaneson. I use she, her, AI pronouns, and I'm Associate Director of Admission at Smith College. A wonderful historically women's college located in Northampton, Massachusetts. We are a gender inclusive women's college, as I mentioned, located in Northampton, Massachusetts, which is a small town in Western Massachusetts. We have about 2,500 students that attend Smith College. 14% of our students are international. 19% of our students are first generation students, so the first in their families to go to college. And then about a third of our domestic student population identifies as students of color. We have a beautiful campus with just that first picture of Paradise Pond. As you can see, one of the most unique aspects about Smith College is our open curriculum. This means that we have no core or general education requirements. Students really can study whatever they want to study as soon as they get to Smith. We do require that you take a writing intensive course, and that by the time you graduate, half of your credits are taken outside of your major, but you really are encouraged to explore. It's not uncommon for students to accidentally double major at Smith because they're just taking the classes that they want to take. We offer about 50 majors and then a few minors and concentrations, and you can create any combination of those that you'd like. We are also part of the 5 college consortium. So in the area, you have Smith and Mount Holyoke, which are 2 wonderful women's colleges, then UMass, Amherst, and Hampshire College, which are amazing co-ed institutions. Starting the 2nd semester of your first year, students are able to take up to 2 courses every semester at any other institution at no extra cost. We do have a bus system that runs to all of the 5 colleges so that you're easily able to take courses at those other institutions and then come back to Smith. About 80% of our students conduct research at Smith College. We have research opportunities that span across all fields of study. So in our STEM fields, of course, but also a number of research opportunities in humanities, art, and social sciences. 80% of our students, sorry. It's been a while since I've done these. We have incredible co-curricular programs at Smith College. Praxis is a one-time guaranteed stipend to every Smith student so that they can participate in an unpaid internship. Our career development office will help you find these internships. They'll help with resume building, cover letter writing, and interview practice. If you find an unpaid internship within the United States, Smith College will pay you $3,000 to participate. If you find an unpaid internship internationally, we'll pay you $4,000 to participate. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and our students have taken it all over the world. We also have a wonderful study abroad program. We have 4 Smith-sponsored programs in Paris, Florence, Hamburg, and Geneva, but we work with over 150 programs in over 60 different countries. So there's definitely plenty to do if you're interested in study abroad. And if you don't find anything that you like in our list of programs, you're welcome to tap into that 5 college consortium and see if one of the other institutions is hosting a study abroad program that you're interested in studying. This is definitely my favorite slide, and I try not to gush too much. I'm not a women's college alum, but I am definitely an advocate for women's colleges. Our students are empowered every moment, every step of the way that they are on our campus. They're given the space to take up space, and they really are entering an environment where every facet of their learning is encouraged and inspired, and they are supported in every part of it, not just from their faculty and their staff, but from their peers as well. Housing is definitely one of the biggest draws to Smith College. We have 40 self-governing houses on campus. You will notice that we always refer to our student housing as houses. We have some large Victorian era houses that may have 100 students living in them. We also have smaller colonial era houses that have 20 students living in them. So it really is up to the students where they'd like to live. They can move around as much or as little as they'd like. And this really helps us to foster a strong sense of community. Within the 40 houses, 7 of them have kitchens, and then we have 2 retail kitchens where students can purchase food. We do our best to offer as many options as possible for students with dietary restrictions, including kosher, halal, vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options. We also like to note that 30% of our food is locally sourced, humane, and ethically sound. As an institution, it is important to us that we are environmentally sustainable and doing our part to help. We do have over 120 student organizations on campus, super wide ranging in their variety of interests, from affinity organizations, activist organizations, band, robotics. We have a ghost hunting club, if that's something you're interested in doing. There's really no shortage of interest represented in our clubs. We also have 11 Division III teams and 12 club sports that students are able to participate in. Again, that 5 college consortium comes into play. You're welcome to join student organizations within the 5 colleges and attend events at the other institutions, as well as the events that happen on Smith's campus. We also are located about a 5-minute walk to downtown Northampton, where there are 67 restaurants, 14 cafes, 7 independent bookstores, over 212 flavors of ice cream. It's a great little town. Our students love hanging out in Northampton, and they definitely love our students. I do want to make sure that I cover the admission process quickly. We are free to apply. There is no application fee to Smith College. We accept both the Common App and the Coalition application, so whichever you want to submit is totally fine. We do pride ourselves on holistic evaluation of our students. We are test optional. We've been test optional since 2006. You can see our 3 application rounds there. One of the most exciting things about Smith is that we have gone no loans for our students. So if you are applying for financial aid and you receive a financial aid package, you will not graduate from Smith College with any loans. And that is all that I have. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Smith College. And last up, we have Chatham University.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all today. I'm going to share some slides here. So my name is Brian Dwyer. I'm the Associate Director of Undergraduate Admission at Chatham University in the Falk School of Sustainability and Environment. Chatham University, we're a private liberal arts university located in the heart of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right next to all the college towns along Fifth Avenue, such as Carnegie Mellon, University of Pittsburgh, and right on down the line. So one of the wonderful things about our campus is our main campus, and it's been Chatham's home since 1869, is our historic Shadyside campus, which is on Andrew Mellon's Summer Estate, right in the heart of Shadyside, Pittsburgh, and that has been Chatham's home and home to our School of Art, Science, and Business, as well as our health science programs. To the right of that is our Eden Hall campus, which is a living, learning, sustainable campus on 388 acres of woodland. That is a real hands-on living opportunity for students to study anything from our recirculating aquaculture lab. We have a USDA certified organic farm where about 50% of the food that we produce goes onto our on-campus food systems. We have on-campus research for undergraduate students that can start in their first year, going all the way up into our graduate programs on the integrated degree programs. Also, the Eden Hall campus is home to our Master of Science in Sustainability, Master of Art and Food Studies, Bachelor of Science in Sustainability, all of which rank top 10 in their degree in the United States. One of the great things about Chatham is that we're a private liberal arts school that's located right in Pittsburgh. So it gives you an opportunity to really have this diversity of an experience where you're on a very defined college campus in a beautiful setting, but then also, you step foot right off campus and you have the entire city of Pittsburgh right at your disposal. Pittsburgh's a wonderful place. It's maybe a little bit more of a starter or stepping stone city, but all the same, we're 90 different neighborhoods that really make up our city. And so one of the great things about that is we have 11 schools that we partner with the Pittsburgh Council of Higher Education, which enables students to take up to 12 credits or 4 classes at any of our neighboring institutions. So that's very popular amongst our students who are looking to diversify or add on to their degree, or just simply take classes that we do not offer as a school. As a student in Pittsburgh and at Chatham, your transportation is paid for, meaning that your student ID will get you on the train, Port Authority bus systems, our incline, which you can see that red box going up the hill there. And then we have discounts across the entire city, again, to integrate you into all of our wonderful communities. Internships, we have highlighted here some of the really popular ones throughout the city of Pittsburgh, but we're represented by 48 different states. And so we have students that will go all across the United States as well as Europe and Asia to complete internships. One of the things that we really believe in at Chatham University is integrating your degree with the mission and values of our institution. So Rachel Carson is a famous alum of our school who wrote Silent Spring, Into the Sea, and sustainability environment is a core pillar of our institution. So not only do we have a campus that focuses on that, We have an entire Office of Sustainability, and our university ranks as a STARS Platinum accreditation. As we are a top school for women's leadership and gender equity. Chatham University previously started as the Pennsylvania College for Women before transitioning to Chatham College, and then in 2007, Chatham University. Community and civic engagement is a really core pillar of our school. One of the bigger things I like to note about that is that's a huge part of our honors program, which we set aside not only community service and engagement hours for our students, but then in turn, we also set aside lots of travel and funding for research. Diversity and inclusion is another pillar of our school. We have the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which of course has great programs such as the RISE mentorship program for students of color, as well as a multi-faith council. We're always looking to stay up to date on new programs or new careers that are up in the field or emerging in the career field. So one of some of the ones that we have just recently added, such as neuroscience, food studies, immersive media, applied data science, analytics. One of the popular things with Chatham is we have over 25 integrated degrees, meaning that you can have a guaranteed seat to one of our master's programs as an incoming first-year student. Popular ones for Chatham is our Physician's Assistant Studies program, as well as our MBA, Master of Science in Sustainability, but we have 25 of them. Some of them you need to follow very specific tracks, such as our Physician's Assistant program. Other programs, such as like our Sustainability program or Communications program, you can really have quite any major that you would want. The application process at Chatham is quite straightforward. We are on our own application, the Coalition app, and the Common application. We are test optional. We have been test optional, excuse me, since 2010. So we encourage students to apply, provide their high school transcripts. Our average SAT is a 1200, our average ACT is a 25, and our average GPA is a 3.85 weighted. One of the things that I always tell students with your when submitting your test scores is we are a do no harm school. So even though we are test optional, if you have scored well on the SAT or ACT, please take a moment to submit those. Optional but strongly recommended is an essay as well as letter of recommendation. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to speaking with you all soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chatham University. All right, I'm going to invite all of my presenters to come back on camera. And there are a few questions that I'd love for each of you to answer. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll start with you, University of Colorado Boulder.
Thank you, Abby. My advice is to start early. Many of us mentioned early action deadlines. I just encourage all students to apply by then, just to get it done and out of the way with. It's easier to do that and then look at scholarship opportunities and those things later on, instead of this time of the year making sure, it's better now to do that in the fall than right now when students are missing out on those opportunities because they did things a little bit late. And then my other piece of advice is it's okay to not know what you want to do. Many students change their majors. It's quite easy to do typically on a campus within your first couple years, I would say, but it's okay not to know. You're young, you'll figure it out. And if you want to study multiple things, that's something that people do a lot, but it's okay if you don't know that at this time.
So my biggest piece of advice would be to keep an open mind, especially when you are looking at different schools, because there are so many to choose from, many schools that you might not even think of. So definitely do your research and just don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and try something new and go visit a college that you might not have thought of. So now is the opportunity to really get out there and enjoy the whole experience of college. So don't be afraid to keep that open mind with all the schools that are out there.
My piece of advice is to reach out to the admission counselor representatives in your area. I promise we actually want to talk to you. We want to help you through this process. You're not bothering us if you email us. Please, really and truly, if you have any questions about the institution or our process, feel free to reach out to us. If we don't know the answers, we definitely know the folks on campus who do, and we're happy to connect you.
And my piece of advice, it kind of goes with everyone else's, but I think it might sound counterintuitive, but trying to select a school based on how you fit and not necessarily on the majors that they offer. Sometimes we get really tied up and the major is where the major equals the destination. And sometimes if you change your major, like we've all kind of just talked about, that can go up in the air. So taking time, visit college campuses, try to really physically see yourself there, let that piece fall into place. And then from there, start working on, what you want to do and what you want to major in.
Thank you. The next question is, what's one thing you want students to remember most about your school?
I would say the one thing I want students to remember about CU Boulder in general is just the opportunity you have, whether that's on campus, whether it's in our community. There's just opportunity everywhere. We are 30 minutes from Denver, so opportunities for those internship, professional experiences, research, just getting involved on campus, staying active, and finding kind of your group among our over 500 student organizations. So overall, just a lot of opportunities to find your community here.
I would say for us at Hofstra is to not necessarily write off Long Island. So keep us in mind. Of course, you might think that everyone on Long Island is from the area and no one stays on campus and everyone goes home on the weekends and there's no one here. But I can assure you that majority of our students actually live on campus and there is so much to do to keep you busy, being right in the heart of a residential area, and you will never find campus empty. There's always something going on right now. It's 7:30 right now and I'm in my office and there's students walking around all over the place. So Long Island is a great place to explore if you haven't been there before. So keep us in mind and keep an open mind about that.
Something I'd love for folks to remember about Smith is that women's colleges are amazing. I know that, I was 17 a long time ago, and I know that it may not be at the top of your mind, but really and truly you are given so much empowerment. Our students are some of the most confident change makers you will ever meet in your life. And a lot of that is accredited to the community that they have at Smith. So that is the biggest takeaway, is just how empowering it can be to be at a space that was really designed for you to succeed.
What I would say most about Chatham University goes back to personalization and accessibility within the city of Pittsburgh. Having 90 different neighborhoods that were integrated and accessible to every single one of them, it really helps students, even if you are on a smaller private liberal arts campus, really in an urban area, diversify your experience and capitalize on internships and research opportunities, all of which are going to be really important for you in the long run.
Right. And the next question is, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
I've been trying to think of a myth overall, and I can't at the moment. So I will just say for CU Boulder specifically, we are a holistic review process. I know some of my other colleagues on here have said that as well with their institutions, but really what that means is there's not going to be one factor that determines whether or not you are admitted. And so going in, even if you feel like, you haven't challenged yourself as well, or maybe you had a semester that you didn't do so hot, we'll first put that in the application so we can kind of have that context when going into and reading that application. But overall, we do holistic review to get to know the student you are, but also who you are as a person, the character you have, and what you're going to bring to our campus. And so that's something that is important to remember going throughout this process, is we want to know who you are as a person as well as a student.
I would definitely say the assumption that you need to be the perfect high school student and take every single AP class or IB class, whatever your school offers, and having to have the perfect grades. And if you have anything less, then it's not good enough. And I can assure you, kind of similar to what Natalie said, that holistic review, and we want well-rounded students. So it's important to space yourself out, and you don't need to take every single high-level class, have a few here or there, but also have leadership opportunities and do community service and have a part-time job while you're in school and things like that. So it's really important to not always assume that you have to stress yourself out and pack out your academics and your schedule, that there are so many other things that we also look at.
I'd love to debunk the myth that we only care about getting you to our school. I don't think any of us feel that way. Yes, we would love for you to choose our institutions, but we really are in the business of making sure that you find the best fit for you for the next 4 years, 6 years, however many years you decide to continue your education. And it is about you. It's about finding what works for you. And we are here to help you do that. We do not take it personally if you do not decide to attend our institution. That is okay. But there's also no harm in inquiring and filling out that information so that you learn a little bit about our schools. As Christy mentioned earlier, keeping an open mind is excellent. But this process really is about you and what you want for the next 4 years.
I think the one I would like to debunk is that a biology degree is not the same at our school as it would be at the University of Colorado, Smith, or Hofstra. I think my colleagues would all agree on that. So when you are talking to colleges, going to college fairs, hearing from us, asking questions such as what is the outcomes or popular tracks in your biology, business, international studies program, not how good is your business program, to get the same answer 10 different ways, and then you conclude that, oh, I can just get a business degree or biology degree anywhere. Certainly you can, but really what comes down into it is your overall experience and how you're willing to engage with the community, engage with the university and your professors there.
Wonderful. Thank you all to our fantastic presenters this evening. I'm going to share one more slide just to wrap us up. So thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a very quick link of a 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide to us. We encourage you to check back the schedule and look at those recordings. You'll be able to find this session and the other sessions, those recordings on strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for attending, and we hope you have a great evening.